Something else. I'm like, what? Like, what he just
plug
did?
that into like a little database.
Man, I gotta go. You gotta run that back.
I should record him doing that.
Access all that, information and stuff like that.
So it's
And
like
from there, anything that you go into Chat GPT, anything that you type in, it'll automatically go and search for it.
so it's like AI Google.
Pretty much, and that's why Google just put up like I forget what they call it, it's like a red flag or something like that.
For that,
Yeah, basically.
they taking their stuff, huh? They said it could like make like write an essay for you, type shit.
About to go ahead and start this thing. Yo,
It can code it for you and all that.
You said they could code for you. So what you gotta do?
Just type in what you want. And I want an app that'll
That
make
do
the next
this.
Uber.
Yeah. Okay. So if you got the idea, the chat could do it for you. Like it could write it up for you.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you might have to still go in and
Right,
edit a few
right,
things
right.
like that
But
because
it's
right
like
now
a-
it's a baby. It's not even a toddler yet.
Yeah.
But once you start making it more,
You into
accessible.
it? You doing shit with it?
Not
Is
yet.
it,
Nah, I'm learning how to make my own, but also learning how to actually use it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I done got a couple of like pictures and stuff like that from it, but not nothing too crazy.
You said a couple pictures, like that you just made, or it made it for you.
Made it for me. So
Yeah.
like you tell it what you want. Like say you want like a Mona Lisa style picture sitting on the beach, whatever.
Right.
It'll actually generate a couple of options for you and stuff like that. And before it couldn't even do faces, but now it can actually operate on faces and stuff like that. So it actually like create the face and everything.
I'm just trying to think, like, what did you say? Like, or are you choosing you choosing like styles like filters, yep, or
Whatever.
you just typing it in? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like you saying you want, so you saying like I want a picture of like Mona Lisa. And then it comes up with all different types of stuff, or
or you can like
choose from, or
oh, y'all, they tuned in.
yeah, you can actually like basically like copy and paste that Mona Lisa into there, and then it'll try to picture also, and then what it can also do is like build out the Mona Lisa and stuff like that.
Yeah, we good. Crowd want to say something? They can say whatever. Get hype. Get hype.
you got it from you gonna be checking the chat on Facebook.
Huh?
I said-
Yeah. I got it up right now. Facebook. Shit. Yeah. Ready? We good? All right. Y'all, we back with another one for the BMM podcast. We back with it. Can we get a little crowd of anticipation? Back with another one. Y'all know how we do it. Healer Man, Healer Future. We got my boy Junebug, Junior Ivenso. He gonna speak about SEO. So we got him here. He's also a BMM executive member. So he does all the executive things as well. So it was only right to get him on the podcast. So we happy that he here. And Junebug, man, it's on you, man. Just let us know, introduction just about yourself, where you come from. Because I know when I first met you, I was calling you Professor X. Still, yeah, I mean, like, this dude knows so much. Like, it's just so much.
Last 10 minutes.
Just
amazing.
so much, man. Amazing, man.
Yeah, I mean, Professor X is pretty much right. I am a college professor. It's not too many of us out there.
There it is.
Whatnot, so I had
Black college professor.
Exactly. Definitely have to shout out that. Yeah, I want to say for the last 4 or 5 years, I kind of got introduced into programming, introduced into coding and stuff like that. Actually, building out websites, and then going a little bit further more than that, actually doing into mobile applications and stuff. And along the way, I just kind of like learned everything that I could about it. One aspect of it is the SEO side, which is search engine optimization. And man, it's been life changing. Definitely life changing. Trying to figure out, all right, what does Google actually want when it comes to the content that you have on your websites? What does it actually look for? And all these other search engines, Bing, Yahoo, heck, even now TikTok is a search engine, Pinterest is a search engine, because people are going on there looking for information. And we, crossing over from that information age over to the digital age, and the two are just blended together.
So how like did you come across that? Like, was it like childhood experiences? Like, who got you involved into start doing the coding? Because I know growing up, man, we ain't know nothing about no coding, no laptop, computer, like nothing. it was just nothing. I went to public, so sometimes it's a little hectic. But
Yeah, so I would say it's a mentor of mine. Was my college professor in college when I was going through school and everything. And from early stages when we first met, I was in class, not really paying attention, kind of doing a regular old thing, not even
off.
right, exactly. Well, shoot, sleeping really. ain't had time to sleep, like because I was in school for engineering. I started off in aerospace engineering, then switched over to mechanical.
Aerospace.
Yeah,
SpaceX.
I was about to say, trying to be like
Your boy
Elon out there. But yeah, so after a while, man, he kind of just was talking to me. He a black professor himself, so he was talking to me. He actually got me started into real estate, got me started into other ventures and stuff like that, and that's how I became more business minded. From there, once he's older, so back then computers was just now starting to come up.
Right.
So everybody was getting into like, all right, how does computers work? How do we use it? How do we do this? How do we do that? So he taught me a few things here and there, and after that, it was like one of those mind explosion moments where I'm just like, man, this is powerful because everything that I do, I didn't even realize it when I was younger. My first business was making, make CDs for people. So I was the computer guy back then. Like, all right, how we
LimeWire.
Exactly. Yep. I was like, all right, how we download these songs? We got to mix this, mix that. I was doing everything on the computer. So now, actually, not just using it, but actually being able to create platforms like that.
Yeah.
It was just mind changing.
Can you talk about just in general computer programming? Because I feel like that's a field, like bro said, coming from public school, a lot of kids ain't even playing with laptop. Well, nowadays it's a little bit more easier, but I feel like we still not getting in the field of actual computer programming. Talk about that and, what type of advantages it has in that type of field that you've experienced just for yourself.
I would say, man, because when I was in school, they definitely didn't really teach. They taught us a little bit about programming and stuff like that, but they definitely didn't make it as important as I feel like it should have been. Especially even now. I mean, everybody's kind of getting into it. I'm seeing now there's a lot of these what's it called, no code, which is not a big issue or anything like that, or half code. We can actually design and build all these websites and stuff like that, but you don't fully understand the back end of it. You don't fully understand, like, all right, how is this working? What's actually happening behind the scenes, so you can be able to, manipulate and change it to what you need. So in my opinion, I think, definitely with everything going further into the more digital age and stuff like that, everything should, or the schools should start to transfer their curriculum and the educational system should start to add into that. Aspects of coding.
Digital literacy.
That's what we doing right now.
Yeah.
We changing it for them. You gonna tell them.
I'm gonna tell them just one side of it. One side.
Yeah.
But what advantages of computer programming? What's the basics of a computer programmer for somebody who might not even know? You might say computer programming, and they just like, what the hell is that? That's the Matrix. That's the Java, C++. They ain't even heard of that, and they might be on the computer every day.
Yeah, so it's a wide, broad spectrum of what you can do with actual programming and stuff like that. From just building stuff on websites to actually building platforms on the computer, like Microsoft Word. It's not on a website, but you can actually access it from your desktop, to mobile applications and all that stuff as well. Video games, there's a lot of video games right now. Roblox is a really, really big game, and Minecraft, which actually they kind of introduce people into how to do coding and programming through their platform as well.
That's dope.
So like it would really depend on if like a young person came up to me and say, hey, how do I get started into it? I would say, what do you want to do? Like, what's your future goal? If you want to create video games, all right, take this route. If you just want to create mobile apps, take that route. If you want to program, I don't know, Christmas lights or something like that, take this route. It's
so you can create video games,
because it's all based on a different languages for different use cases and stuff like that.
Video games, apps, software programs, anything like that.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah. So and it's like that's so important because we're in a digital age where like kids definitely need to be more exposed to it, but kind of like how to monetize it and kind of like use it as a key advantage, because you see a lot more kids on YouTube like doing the iPads, like they the newest perfect model, but it's just like how do they, you know, use it to like their advantage to where it doesn't become like a disability.
Yeah.
Because some kids are struggling with that, like trying to, like actually, you know, the traditional way of learning is, it's like some kids are like struggle with that because they're on the laptop, the iPad now and stuff like that. So
I think it's I think the reason why they're struggling is because of really how they're being taught. Only reason why I say that is because, like, you know, you see kids nowadays. Kids basically invented TikTok. So TikTok was, oh man, what was it called? Vine back in the day. That's what.
Man, I remember that.
Exactly, like
Dang,
that's where
old.
TikTok came from.
Yeah.
And they making all these videos and doing all these edits and all these cuts and all this stuff. Like, how do you learn an app from pretty much the scratch? Well, you
Yeah.
had to sit there, you actually had to keep doing it. Just like a video game, you might be on a video game playing it for 30, 40, 50 hours. You're not going to quit. Why? Because you're having fun. It's all about how that dopamine is being basically triggered inside your brain and everything. So when they being taught other stuff, it's like, man, I'm not trying to sit here and do all this. But you got to actually, you know, make it a little bit more fun for them. That's why I was like, man, Roblox, if you want to learn how to code, you can start there. And you can actually do some stuff on that.
Gotcha. So for a small business, what is like the purpose? What would be the purpose for them to learn SEO? And SEO is search engine optimization.
Well,
Like, what's the
can you talk about what
that.
the SEO is first, and
Yeah.
then we can go into how to infiltrate it into maybe a business,
Right.
and how it relates to computer programming.
So I like to sum up SEO just in one word, and that's trust. And the reason why I say it's trust is because it's all about, when you what was the question you asked me about why should businesses get started? It's all about the awareness, putting yourself out there so that other people can actually find you, so that they can access your services or, you know, purchase your product or something like that. But who the heck is going to shop with you if you don't have a trustworthy product or a trustworthy service? You do, you know, business plans and business for business owners and stuff like that. If I come to you and say, hey, I need a business plan done, I know you got it.
Right.
But if I go to Joe Schmo off the street, I'm like, nah. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if you know what you're talking about and stuff like that. So with SEO, it's really all boils down to trust, making sure that Google knows that you know exactly what you're talking about, that you are a trustworthy person, you're not no scammer out there and around the world, and you actually gonna take care of their people, because at the end of the day, Google is a business. They make money off of ads, but that's, you know, they make money because people keep on coming back to them. Right. That's their whole business model. So if they want people to keep coming back, they gotta keep giving them a trustworthy product.
Gotcha.
So you saying SEO is exclusively linked through Google? Is that what you?
No. So SEO would be optimizing your content on your website or whatever for those search engines. So all the search engines out there, as soon as you go to Google, Bing, Yahoo,
Apple,
Apple,
Maps.
Ask G's,
411.
all of those are search engines. All of those are search engines. So you just have to basically, because what happens is that those search engines go to your website, and they call them, you know, like crawlers or whatever, and go to your website, they crawl through all the information on there, and they see what is your website all about. And then once they find out what your website is all about, when somebody comes to their search engine and says, hey, I want to know about yada, 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 they say, okay, I know the perfect person to send you to. Throw it that way.
So, like, what's the kind of main things that will get people there? You know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, Facebook, TikTok, all these places are search engines now. Like, what's kind of, is that just the main way of getting people to use the SEO? Or I don't know if I'm asking the right question as far as.
So I think what you're trying to ask, I think I kind of understand what you're trying to ask. And people are already kind of like using SEO already,
Right.
Whether you know it or not. Everything that you put on your website as a business, and every business should have a website, but everything that you put on there is going through some sort of process where Google is going to it. They're saying, okay, what is your website about?
Right.
Whether, again, like I said, whether you know it or not, that's why you need to optimize it for that purpose.
Right.
And then whoever goes through Google, they automatically are being fed information that Google thinks is perfect for you. So it's all throughout that algorithm. So whether you like it or not, it's
So
it's
what
there.
so you said you have to optimize it on your website. What is something somebody could do for their business to optimize it on their website, like using maybe keywords, or they got key graphics, or
Right.
yeah.
So there's three main aspects of SEO. The first one I like to call just on-page SEO, where it's just all the stuff that you can see that's basically on your page. There's also on-page SEO, but kind of like more on the back end. That's like making sure that your pictures are compressed down, because like pictures have a lot of pixels in them.
Right.
So those pixel sizes make the images really big, which makes your file size for your website really big. So you can compress it down to a smaller size, makes your website a little bit faster. That helps. Google don't want to send you a website that's going to take 10 minutes to load up.
Right.
They're going to send you to a website that's going to take 3 seconds.
Right.
Last part about that, the third one is off-page SEO, which again is bringing back to trust, where everybody else is talking about you. If everybody is talking about your business, then guess what Google gonna say? He the man. He know exactly what he's doing. He know what he's talking about. But if ain't nobody talking about you, Google gonna look at you and keep it walking.
But they ain't gonna look at that.
They ain't even. They might not even look at you.
Like,
Right.
who is this guy?
Yep. So those are the three main one. On-page SEO. It's like they're both on-page SEO, but I like to split them up just because they're two different sides of it. On-page SEO, on-page back-end SEO, and then lastly off-page SEO.
Would you say one is more important than the other, or all kind of all three like work together in a sense, or?
They all, I would say the on-page and the off-page probably work together the most. The on-page back-end is still, it's still important, but it's not as important in my opinion,
Right.
as the other two. And then the most important one is the off-page, and that's basically all because it's word of mouth.
Right.
Like if everybody else, like I said, is talking about you, if you go to, it's football season, if you go to NFL.com, you're gonna trust pretty much everything that's on there, all the stats and everything, all the records and everything that's on there. But if you go to Michael Joe's NFLstats.com or something like that, you're gonna be like, well, I don't know if this is right. Let me go back and check, or I don't know if that's right. Let me go back and check. Like you might.
Hey, Manning ain't even playing 2020.
Right. So it's like if everybody is talking about you, everybody knows you, everybody puts their trust into you. Google and all those other search engines will essentially do the same.
Like that.
And the best way to do that is through backlinks.
Backlinks.
Now, what's backlinks?
Right.
So backlinks are kind of, in the name. It's where other people's websites are linking back to yours. So what you can do is actually link out to other websites and stuff like that. So you can write up a blog article or something, and then you can say, hey, I found this information on here, or I know this person that's talking about this over here, and you can actually send out different backlinks yourself to other people.
Like
but the
an
main thing,
affiliation.
kind of like that. But the main thing is for you to get those backlinks back to yourself. And so where other people start talking about you, where they start writing articles like, man, I know the best business plan person out here. His name is DeVoe Sherman. And then boom, they send it over to you. And then the more backlinks that you end up getting, the more Google's going to start to see, okay, let's go see what DeVoe Sherman about.
Hey,
How long you been doing SEO? I'm messing around with.
Shoot, so I'm a self-taught programmer since like 2018.
Right.
And then when the pandemic really came about, 2020 is when everything kind of exploded. And that's when I started to really learn about it. And then probably 2021 is when I kind of like dove deep into it and stuff like that, to actually like learning way more about it.
Yeah.
So I'll say about a year and a half.
I got you. I know it's more about SEO, but what did you start for like programming and stuff? How did you start self-teaching?
So I like design. So on the design side, I wanted to focus mainly on what they call front end development. So the front end portion, everything that you see on the website, that's the front end of it, rather than the back end, which is the stuff that you don't see.
Right.
So I started with the basic HTML, which is a hypertext markup language, CSS, which is a cascading style sheets, and then JavaScript.
Yeah, it's all coding.
Yep.
man, that sounds so damn technical. I don't know what he talking about. I get it though, cause
when I first
play
got
around
into
with
it,
it.
like I said, my background is mechanical, so I'm more hands on and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So just jumping on the computer and start coding or whatever, it it was hard, but it still made sense.
Yeah.
HTML and CSS, they make sense to me. So like if you wanted to add a button to a web page or something like that, you literally just type in the word button, and then you just say, I want the button to be green, I want the button to be this big, I want the button to be that small, and stuff like that. So it's like learning any new language, you know, Spanish, French, Russian, or whatever. It's just something that you have to keep on, you know, using over and over again. And then eventually you kind of get it.
Gotcha. So we're getting SEO, like getting a lot of businesses on that platform, on those like search engines. They have to go through like a verification process, right?
Say that again?
They have to go through like a verification process to like verify. Do they have to like verify if that is a actual business versus a scam, or could just anybody just be on like a Google or Apple? I know you don't speak for them, but just in
Yeah,
general,
so no, anybody can go out there right now, purchase a domain name. I've got almost like 100 domain names. Just because I flip domain names or whatever. That's a whole nother digital real estate.
Yeah.
Digital real estate is a whole nother
Man.
aspect of it. But anybody can go get a domain name. Anybody can go find some hosting for their domain. Anybody can go out there and make a website, put any information they want on it.
Gotcha.
Google is not about to go out here and check all the millions of different websites out there. That's people that's trying to scam it. And that's why that trust is so big to where it could be a scam website, but Google might not care because ain't nobody else talking about it. Ain't nobody else doing anything with it.
So it sounds like the SEO is more like a bunch of things tied together, like the website, the images, like everything has to be like the domain, like everything has to be connected for SEO to work. Is that kind of that's how I'm thinking about it in my mind?
Yeah, pretty much. It's all about the metadata. What metadata is basically like if you had a CD and the CD has songs on it, and you put that song into your display or whatever, on the little screen it's gonna pop up the name of the CD, the title of the track or whatever that's playing, the author, whoever's singing the song or whatever. All of that is metadata. So what you do for your website is you add in that metadata that says, okay, this website is about this website is about that. I've got whatever going on. For your images, you have metadata for your images. What exactly is your image about? Every article, pretty much everything on your website needs to be optimized to where Google knows exactly when it goes on it, what's what and what's where.
Gotcha. And so that also helps with the Google ranking too, because there's different rankings with the SEO. Now, is that different or is that separate?
No, that's like pretty much identical with it. So right now, if you start a website, pretty much nothing on it, just a couple of stuff on there, you're probably going to be on page 1 million for Google. Once you start optimizing it, then it starts bringing you up the ranks. Everybody wants to be number one, so
man,
everybody will be like,
get
"Hey,
there, baby. We're trying to get there, baby. Number one."
Man, it takes a while. It takes a while. A lot of people don't know, or fail to understand is that, man, SEO is a long play. So you might start SEO today, but you're not even going to see any changes onto your website for another 3 to 6 months. I usually tell people at minimum you're going to see changes about 4 to 6 months. 6 to 8 would be like ideal, just to make sure that everything is in place, everything's in order, especially like these larger websites. If you got, over 100 pages of your website already done, and you got, millions worth of content on there, it's going to be a lot to optimize as versus, just a brand new website starting from scratch and then trying to build up from that SEO.
Gotcha.
What would you say for somebody like you said it might take 4 to 6 months to see, some type of change? When's the cutoff? Would you say that you feel like you might see progression, or you don't see progression? Obviously, you just said 4 to 6 months, but
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to see something in between. Is it optimal to have
So I wouldn't put a timeline on it.
Yeah.
I would put what he brought up was the rankings. So those rankings will kind of tell you, okay, if your SEO content is doing what it's supposed to be doing, or if you need to shift or adjust, and that happens all the time where you need to kind of like change routes and stuff like that. Just because competitors are trying to do the same thing. So once they start optimizing their SEO, they're gonna start bumping in the ranks, which is gonna bump you down.
Right.
So you might have to adjust from that.
And I feel like you want to kind of catch like trend words, stuff that's like just trendy
Oh yeah.
in at the moment. I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
that would-
all the time.
yeah. Is there like a place that you go for that? You know?
Yeah. So I mean, I can show you if y'all want me to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Just
can,
show the crowd something, man. Show what's going
Let's
on.
see. So if
Yeah.
I jump over here.
So what you gonna show us?
So you had asked about the different trends and stuff like that. So Google actually has what they call Google Trends. So if we go up here to Google Trends,
Be careful with that search history.
Man, do I got anything on there?
as long as you don't use Safari, use Google Chrome, you good.
Okay, yeah, Google Trend.
But yeah, so Google Trends is a website that I use all the time, especially when I'm doing like keyword research. And I don't think I spoke on keywords yet, but with keywords are basically what is a website about. So again, using you as an example, if you want your business to be all about business plan, then that should be like your number one keywords. And there's what they call short tail and long tail keywords also, which I'll explain. But with trends, I mean, like I said, it's football season. So if I type in the NFL, this is the 1 year trend for NFL's basically searches and stuff like that. So as you see over here, January, around the time when the Super Bowl and stuff like that, February, it's time to start to die off. And then during the summertime, ain't nobody really searching for what's going on for NFL.
Right.
But then it starts picking back up over here about September, and it just stays like that for, a little bit of time. So you can actually use this.
And season.
Yep. So that's exactly what it is. So you can actually use this tool and say, hey, there's a new product out there like fidget spinners. When fidget spinner came out, I guarantee you there was a big old spike of fidget spinners and stuff like that. But then by the time fidget spinners start, dying off, you'll be like, all right, I'm not messing with those no more because that information, that data says it's not there anymore.
And you know what's crazy? I've seen Google send me like a detailed report on my business just to show me like who's searching for what. Like that, I feel like that was dope. And it's also like Google Analytics. Like it just showing me the analytics of who's doing what, and like kind of like showing the behavior of like the customers and what they're doing. So I think that's important too.
Yeah, like tools like this, you don't exactly have to sign up for Google. I think you had mentioned before, like if you can, go on there, but like analytics, you had to sign up for. You had to tell them like, this is my website, this is what I want to look for. Google Ads, you had to do that for. I definitely recommend people do their Google My Business page. Get on Google Maps and stuff like that as well. All that stuff helps to where when someone goes to Google you, all the information is there. It's rare if, unless people know you, by name or whatever, it's rare that somebody's going to Google your name and then find you and stuff like that. But as long as the information is there, some information will still pop up because what Google does, let's see if I can, Google. So what Google does is all this stuff actually changes. So if I typed in Google Trends, you got the information up here. You got this portion here, which is people also ask. And you got this portion here, which is Twitter. Like I said, the social media now is search engines. So, and this right here, what some people don't know is that this is like free advertisement. So there's paid advertisements and free advertisement. If you go on Twitter and you make a post about, whatever, and it comes on here, it pops up right here. Google pretty much just puts an ad up there for you for free where you don't have to pay for it. But if you do something like...
Yeah, we want the free stuff, June, bro. It was all the free stuff.
If you do something like business plan, you see the first thing that pops up is an ad. Second thing that pops up is an ad. So people actually pay to be popped up on the top. But depending on what it is, you can just make a Twitter post, TikTok video or something like that and still get that.
Gotcha.
Even YouTube videos can rank higher than some of these ads.
We got a couple questions. Would you recommend using Google's SEO service for newer businesses?
For newer businesses, and I haven't myself used, when I say Google SEO service, I don't think myself I've used too much Google SEO service. And that's just because I do mine a little bit differently.
Gotcha.
I got like other tools and stuff like that that I actually pay for or whatever for that purpose. But I would have to, for me to confidently answer it, I would have to look into it more. They can definitely reach out to me and then I can kind of give them little points and stuff like that. But I would say if it's a free tool that does give you certain, aspects of, how to manage your SEO and stuff like that, I would say yeah, it couldn't hurt because anything is better than nothing. Like I said, if you come on, I've had a person before come to me with the website. Their website had a bunch of pages with a bunch of images on it, and none of the images were optimized. So now my job is to go in and optimize every single one, and that's going to take time.
Yeah.
Which costs money. So I would rather come in for your sake, come in and on the beginning side for the startup, new business or whatever, come in, optimize your SEO for optimize your website for SEO in the beginning versus in at the end because it'll actually save you money.
So is that like the reason you saying that is because I feel like they probably need like a plan, like a marketing plan to figure out like why would they get an SEO starting out? Like it's because if you don't know who your target market is, why even get SEO? Like for instance, there's like those high luxury cars. I forgot what they're called. What is it? Rolls Royce. That's they don't do commercials.
Right.
Like so they only advertise to a certain demographic of people.
Right.
So there for them, there's really no point of doing SEO, right? It'd be kind of pointless in a way, or not.
I wouldn't say pointless. I don't know. I never thought about that.
Yeah,
because
it's
they're
so many that do that.
They're already known. They're already big.
But it's like they're not going to advertise like, you feel me? Like the average person, I don't think would.
Right.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like,
because everybody's like, if you was getting the Rolls Royce, you would know you're getting the Rolls Royce. You're going to their website anyway. You know you're gonna trust them. Like NFL, if you love the NFL, you watch the NFL, you gonna go to their website. It's the NFL. Like you ain't gonna question it. So
right.
I don't want to say they don't need it. It's no point to it, but it's not as much as just start a business that's trying to get their name out there though.
Gotcha. And then somebody else said, how do we know what type of words to put in the SEO for our website?
So again, that's all based around your content. So if you're using you as an example again, if you're into business plans and stuff like that, so like right here on Google,
sure. Give it away.
Boom. So up here, business plan template, business plan examples, business plan tool. So what this is Google's suggested searches based on what people have already been searching. So everybody has already been searching stuff like this already. So that kind of gives you a quick insight. Okay, what should I write on my website as far as like what are people looking for? Because if I'm looking for business plan tools, and you don't have anything on your website about business plan tools, then I can't rock with you. But you should go on here and do all this. And then I had mentioned before about short tail keywords versus long tail keywords. So this right here would be a short tail keyword, just business plan. But if you type in like business plan,
for like a company or something.
Yeah, business plan for startup business in the Midwest or something like that. This would be more of a long tail keyword because you're talking about business plan. You're talking about business plan for startups and also in the Midwest.
Gotcha.
So then you like hit enter and you get a whole bunch of different, of course you get the ads, but you get a whole bunch of different articles and stuff. Here would be another good place to go as well where people also ask because, once you click on that, it actually kind of gives you what other people are asking about. So people are also asking about what are the 4 basics to start up a business? What are 3 key things needed for starting a business? What are 12 steps to starting a business? Like this is stuff that people who also looking for a business plan, but also are asking other questions. So this right here just tell you what the market wants. So all you got to do is give it to them.
Gotcha.
Like even down here too, they got the stuff like that. But like even in the related searches,
Yep.
Utilize it all.
They giving it to us. We just gotta.
You just gotta know. You just gotta know where to look.
There,
Optimize.
So when you go
optimize.
So when you go over to your website and you start creating, because right now blogs is like the number one thing that the people are doing as far as like content on the website. So when you go over to your website, you create a new blog. The title of that blog better be something on here, because if it's not, it's like, all right, you're not really doing nothing. After that, you're not supposed to overuse the keywords and stuff like that. Yeah. But after that, when you have your article, and your article should be, I usually say somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 words, not characters, 2,000, 3,000 words as an average for a good blog article. 1,000 to 2,000 be on the low end. Anything over 5,000 would be just ridiculously too long. I don't know anybody that's gonna read a 5,000 word blog article on something, unless it's like some really good information. But when you're doing that, you want to make sure you have all of your headings good, all of your titles and stuff like that. Add some pictures in there with some metadata added to it. Alt attributes are good. Titles are good. They even now have, I think it's called like a screen reader. So like people who are blind, so they have cell phones, but they have a cell phone that'll read to them. So whatever's on your website as an image, the screen reader for their website would actually read it to them. So if your website has an image on it and all it is ABC 1 2 3, the person don't know what that's about.
Right.
But if you actually optimize and say, hey, this is an image of yada yada yada, then it'll read that exactly thing to them, and it'll actually help you in the rankings as well.
Gotcha.
Is there anything that's like too much, like over optimization that you could put on, or like something that you'll get flagged for saying that you can't have this on your website, or
As far as can't have on your website, I would say no. There's like common best practices, which I got a SEO tool. It's kind of like a free tool as well that I drop on here.
Yeah, man, we need all the free stuff we can get, man.
So let me see.
Real.
I'm gonna pull up a random website like.
Old homes.
Old homes. Nah, they don't need to know our locations.
Good thing you on that Safari. You ain't on Google Chrome. I don't know what's on there.
So let's see, like oldhouses.com. So if I jump in here to my SEO scanner, put in oldhouses.com. And then boom, it'll instantly tell me for the title tag for this.
Too long.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, they're saying it's too long. Should be anywhere between 10 and 70 characters, and this is 79. The meta description should be somewhere between 70 and 30. This is 202, so that's okay. And what this is basically, if I go back here, what this is basically this information right here. So the reason why they're saying it's too long is, for one, you see how this is, but like this one up here got all these dots next to it. So basically they wasted letters or whatever because you can't see that anyway.
Right.
Same with down here in this description portion. After so many characters, Google's not going to show it anyway. So it's like, why even write that much? It's just, it's too much. Also on top of that, your H1 tags and your H2 tags. And this is what I was saying before about, those no-code websites like Wix and Weebly and stuff. They don't allow you to control the content that's on your website to this level. So what you want to do is make sure your H1 tag, you should only have one of them, and it should be basically exactly what your website is about.
H1 tag.
This website is not about for sale. So in my opinion, they not optimizing this good. This website is about old houses and whatever. Your H2 tags and H3 tags is kind of similar, but it's on a lower level than your H1. And also, like I said, your image alt attributes, they say they only had no images with, they say it doesn't have any missing alt attributes. But then you can also go to the website. If I was doing like a website audit, I'll go to the website, I'll pull up every image, I'll see what the title is of that image and the alt attributes and all that stuff, and just make sure it's just not, because even though it's saying there's no images on there, without an alt attribute, the alt attribute might just be a whole bunch of letters and numbers that don't make sense. So these are like, quick insight. These are the main things that I myself at least check for.
So you can do like a website or SEO analysis on small business owners, like like an audit or something like that.
Oh yeah, and I do
check
those,
everything.
I do those for free.
You do those for free?
Yeah.
Y'all heard that?
I don't mind going through, because like I said, you saw it real
Right.
quick, 1-2 seconds, whatever. It's gonna pull up and it's gonna tell me everything I need to know.
Gotcha.
After that, it's a matter of, all right, are you trying to spend the money to get up to ranking number 1, page number 1, or if you just want to do a little bit on the side, just kind of boost you up a little bit and then kind of go from there.
Okay, cool. Well, Junebug, man, we appreciate you for that, man. We got to go into our drop a gem, so if we can drop a gem for the listeners. Who's going first? I got to think about my gem.
Yeah, you good. I would just say stay educated, stay prepared, and stay focused. It's a time of economic downturn, I think that we all in. But if you stay educated in most aspects and stay thriving to be better, you will continue to be better. So stay thirsty.
That's what's
Dos
up.
Equis.
Shoot, man, you got me thinking about something now.
Man,
So we was talking earlier about the Chat GPT, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people so far has been hearing about the AI and stuff like that. So I think the gem that I want to drop, and I'm kind of bringing out the nerd side or whatever, but y'all definitely need to get into technology. Anything that you can do regarding technology, machine learning, AI, programming, and stuff like that. Is a game changer for most people. I mean, you can really make a whole lot of money as well. I mean, starting salaries over $100,000 and stuff like that, just from straight out of college kind of thing. Because there's a lot of companies that are looking for it, but it's not that many people out there that's doing it.
To kind of piggyback off of that too, I definitely think that's something important that especially in the Black community, we got to get more into computers. We got to be more involved in what's going on, like Google's. How to set up software programs and shit like that. So definitely getting in there and being aware of software and computer programming. It might be a lot of work, but anything that you do that's great. It's gonna be a lot of work anyway. So
right. And to me, it's really fun because I mean, if you can sit there and play a video game and you can create a video game that you can play yourself and then have everybody else play with, and then make money off it also. Right. It's like a win-win for me.
Yeah.
Win-win.
I just say time has a wonderful way of showing us what really matters, especially in this time period that we in. Like, for me, my mindset has just been on financial wellness, like getting my financials all the way tight and starting to see the impact of what the capability of what 7 years can do. Especially on this tax side of things, man. I mean, you get up there, boy. You look at them tax numbers, like you see what you owe. You like, it's go time. Like it ain't entrepreneurship, man. It ain't nothing to play with. Like, and I'm really experiencing the true value of what it means to, save, what it means to invest, and what it means to just make sure that you're properly prepared. Because even for myself, like. I did a financial projection, but I missed my number. Like I hit a number that I wasn't supposed to hit, but I hit it, which is a great thing. But on a tax side, it's just like, you just got to be ready to take that hit. So it's just all about just being financially and mentally prepared.
And ain't that crazy how that worked? Like, you thought you was doing good about making money, but it's like, well, sorry, sir, you made too much money now.
It's just like, pay me.
Right.
I mean, to kind of hit on that though, it's like just another thing that we got to learn to take advantage of. I was listening to a YouTuber. He bought a jet simply because it's gonna be a tax write-off for him. He spent, millions of dollars, $20 million, I think it was. Just simply because it was going to be a tax write-off for him. Yeah. So, I think that's just another game we need to learn how to play at a higher level.
Definitely.
I was listening to, I think it was Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone said something about he goes broke 2 times a year. And the reason being is because, he's put his money into assets. So he'll never let that money just sit in the bank, all the money that he's collecting. He was like, all right, I got to spend all of it. Right. It's got to go somewhere. It got to work for me, You got to use money as your slave.
Yeah, make the screen cool. And I think the other thing too, man, I'm starting to understand, like everything is just a strategy, man. Like every single thing, business, taxes, market, like even on the taxes, like, oh my God, like you gotta have a strategy. Like you gotta have a strategy on what you doing. Like in your prior years is gonna affect like what you about to the next 2 years. Or the next year, like it's really gonna affect us. So I'm really going through a process of just learning that, because everybody get to that point to where you're like, man, I'm a business owner, I don't want to pay no taxes. But it's just like, well, you got to pay taxes to show them that that you're actually making money, so you can actually see that growth. Like, and that's what they want to see when you're getting more money. And this year has been just a wealth of it, and it's just like.
This wasn't even 2023 already.
Yeah, man, it's happening crazy, man. So it's just just wrapping my mind around it. So
Hey,
there's
you know what
something
they
out
say?
there for y'all, man.
You know what they say? You fail to plan. You what they say? You fail to plan. You plan to fail.
Plan to fail.
Yep.
Well, I'm doing both. I failed to plan, but I'm winning too. So here's what
Also,
it is.
though, I think like you said,
Yeah.
everything is always about strategy. Like
Yeah.
if you don't have a strategy, you just out here
Just out
going
here,
nowhere.
right.
But sometimes it's even good to look at it as like just because you have a strategy, it could fail, and that's okay too because you got to go back and reorganize
Yeah.
the strategy.
Got back to the
That's
drawing board.
the only way you're gonna get better is to keep making a strategy.
Yeah. All lessons, no losses, man. That's it. But shout out last segment. Shout out to Black Owned Business. I'm going to go with Basketball Hustle TV, the Black Dollar Project, KNS Graphics, and there was one more. It's a food place. I forgot.
Conscious Kitchen.
Conscious Kitchen. I miss it. I miss it, man. I don't know what they closed or something.
They
man.
closed?
So, yeah, I tried
I
to go
think
there.
they was only selling out the
Food
the
truck?
door
Yeah,
for a
door.
minute. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
they
you could
was,
only
but
walk
yeah,
in.
something happened, man.
Yeah.
Saudi. Yeah, it's over. Slow. It's over.
Economic
Broke my heart.
So sad.
economic
Economic
downturn.
downturn,
Yeah, they'll come back.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, I want to shout out Wing Champs. They're in
Champs.
Springdale. Yeah, Black Owned Business.
Black lady,
Liz. Yeah, they
Cream Delicious
by
too.
the
that's
Waffle House
another
and all
business.
that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
another business that's coming up. If Conscious
Yeah.
Kitchen's down, stop in there.
Man,
Yeah, and Big
Might have to
J's
stop.
place. Huh?
do they got vegan options? No.
No.
I'm probably sure you could get
Yeah.
something on the menu.
Get a salad.
Yeah,
Get
go
a
in-
salad. They probably ain't got no
Go
salad.
in there
Bro.
and
They say
try-
Wing Chance. They ain't got no salad.
You got some celery.
Go in there. Fact.
Need more than that.
Put some sauce on the
Yeah,
side.
go in there and cause havoc. You get what you want.
Man.
Shoot, I think the business I want to shout out is kind of like a newer business called Pull Up Photography.
Pull Up.
And it's pretty much like a selfie studio. I mean, they got like a whole bunch of different stations up there. You can go up there, you
Pull
know,
up.
with kids, your lady or whatever, especially with, you know, Valentine's Day coming up, get some photos done with a unique background. And then they got the, you know, 360 camera and everything
Yeah.
that you can rent out and everything like that too. So,
So I can pull up anytime? Like, say pull up.
I mean, it say
Pull
pull
up.
Pull
up.
up right now.
Pull
What's
up
up?
and get shot.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know they hours. I know they. I know they there a lot of the times and stuff like that. But you know,
Pull up.
one of the, you know how we used to do back in the day in the club and stuff
Yeah.
like that. They used to have a backdrop, so you might be able to after the club go up there, just
Yeah.
have a nice little take a couple of
Code
shots. Or something.
51.
Code
But
51.
that's out there. It's out there on the west side though.
West side. Yeah, I ain't going on the
West
west
side,
side.
that side.
Definitely not going on the
Don't
west side. I
forget.
am not going on the west side.
Don't forget.
Cool on that.
All right, y'all. Well, that was another one. It was great to have our boy Junior do the
No problem, no
podcast.
problem.
It's been a while since we had another podcast. We get back to it. But BMM loves you all. BMM is here. We want this podcast to stay going for us to have a platform so we can speak out and say it with our chest and get things out, you know, to our community. And just like that, we'll see y'all in the next one.
That's it.
Great.
Stop it. Some behind the scenes stuff we gotta stand
Man,
up.
stop. Virtual camera.
It ain't stopped the Facebook though.
Good job.
End it now.
It was not